Hello, everyone. You see this pile of clothes beside me. You also read the title of the video. You know what we're up to today. There has been a mounting DIY pile growing on a chart in my room for the past several weeks, and it's time to tackle it today. I am so ready. I have been waiting to do this for weeks. Okay, let's get started. I'm going to start with the items that require literally just cutting and nothing else. These t-shirts. I have acquired all three of these recently, and all three of them are not quite the length I would prefer them to be. Luckily, with a t-shirt that is very easy to resolve, we will just cut them. I already tried them all on and marked with pencil or chalk the length I wanted each of them to be. So now we just get to chop. And I am using a rotary cutter and a cutting mat because I have them, because I'm fancy. But you can of course also very easily do this with the scissors. So we're starting with some very simple improvements, but later in this video, I'm doing some more exciting crafting and DIYing. And a great resource I used for some guidance on that is Craftsy, the sponsor of today's video. Craftsy is your online resource for all things creative. They have over 2,000 classes in sewing, embroidery, painting, knitting, jewelry making, and so many more categories. And they're led by experts with step-by-step instructions for makers of all skill levels. Later in this video, I'm actually sewing a pair of pants. And Sandra Betzina's class, Pant Construction Techniques, taught me so many nuggets of wisdom I can't even tell you. I feel enlightened after this class, not just for sewing pants, but for sewing in general. I'm also very interested in Christy Friesen's jewelry classes, specifically polymer clay jewelry, learning 10 beads and charms, which has me very excited for some future jewelry making projects I have in the works. If this all sounds fun or interesting to you, I have an incredible deal for you all as well. The first 1,000 of you to click the link in the video description will get a full year of premium membership to Craftsy for only $1.49. An unreal deal for new members. All right, now let's get that crafting back in action. You gotta stretch out the end you just cut, so it'll give you a nice little rolled hem, and then you don't have to hem it for real. Wow, 3 items done already. Off to a powerful start. That's why you gotta start with the easiest things possible, because it really makes you feel like you're on a roll. The next item is also just cutting, but this one will be more of a dramatic difference because it is this bodysuit. This bodysuit was gifted to me from Parade as part of a sponsorship, and they actually have it in short sleeve and long sleeve, but the black was only in long sleeve, so I got the green in short sleeve, black in long sleeve, and now that I have it, it delights me. However, I don't know when I'm ever going to wear a backless top with long sleeves. And I feel like if I just chop the sleeves off this, I'll wear it all the time in the summer. I'm thinking because it's a stretchy fabric, again, I won't have to actually hem the sleeves. I can just chop them off. And I have also tried this on and marked with chalk on one sleeve where I want to cut it. And so let's just see what happens. Doesn't this thing look crazy when it's off? Ow, there she is. I guess I'll have to try this on to see how it really works out, but looks pretty good to me. Hello, everyone. We've switched locations and we're switching gears because this project is not about cropping something. We're gonna do some alterations on this blouse. I recently thrifted this blouse and I love it so much. It is like the perfect summer top to me. And also, it's a little baggier than I would like on my body. I don't want it to be like fitted skin tight, but I feel like if I just tuck it in a little bit with some tucking to the fabric just to make it a little less baggy, could do a lot to potentially make this even better. So I already tried it on and I pinned kind of where I want to take it in and how I want to take it in. And now I'm just gonna like sew where I pinned. This is a slightly different style of alteration than I've done before. So we're just gonna have to see if it works out. I'm kind of nervous because I really don't want to mess up this shirt, but I think it's gonna work. We are on the couch under a blanket for this next task because anything I can do on the couch under a blanket, I will. I'm so grandparents in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Our next task is to fix my beloved horse bag. Tragically, the strap on this bag has broken. Devastating news for us all. However, the good news is I still have all the pieces and it will be pretty easy to sew back together. I have it pinned right now. I just have to sew it like this. So ultimately, no permanent damage has been done. Thank God. This whole sandwich of fabric here is definitely too thick to do on my sewing machine, so I'm just going to do it by hand. Let's get started. Also, completely unrelated side note, do you all like my makeup today? I was feeling a little funky, a little creative, a little artsy. I feel like a tropical frog a little bit, and I think I'm into it. Let me know what you think. This is me showing it from different angles. Okay, let's get into it. I did it. She's done. She's repaired. Good as new, if you don't look too close at the hand stitching. All right, time for me to go eat dinner. See you later. Hello, everyone. It's a couple days later, and it's time to get back to some upcycling. Today, we are going to hem this dress and these shorts. I'm going to start with this dress. I have already drawn a pencil line an inch up from the hem all the way around and then cut along that line. And now we're just going to do a double fold hem all the way around, which will take it up another inch and give it that nice clean finish. If anyone is wondering, yes, I too am suffering from the Joann's closures everywhere. That is the closest place I previously got my thread, and now I can't. However, when I had to go get this navy blue thread for this dress and I couldn't go to Joann's, I had to look around a little more, and I found a local sewing shop that I didn't even know about, and that's where I ended up getting this thread. And so I do feel like I've actually found a better alternative. So if you're also suffering a Joann's loss, I know not everyone has local sewing shops, which is the whole issue with the Joann's leaving. But maybe if you assumed you didn't have any, give it another look. You might be surprised. Okay, let's hem this dress. Okay, the dress is done. And next we have these shorts. Here's the thing though about these shorts. I was going to hem them, and so I was like rolling them up to see how long I wanted them to be. And then I realized they already have quite a sturdy little cuff on the bottom that makes rolling them up and keeping them in place very easy. So I don't actually really need to hem them. I think I can just roll them up and wear them that way. I think it looks good and, you know, less effort, less chance of me messing them up. So woohoo, these are done as well. By the way, I thrifted these shorts a couple months ago, and in the video where I showed them, someone told me in the comments that these are made of African wax fabric, which is very cool to know. Thank you so much to that commenter. I also did some light Googling and learned that African wax fabric patterns can have different like symbolism or cultural significance, which is very cool. I couldn't find any particular significance of this pattern. If any of you know more, I'd love to hear it. And of course, also if these have some cultural significance or sensitivity that makes it like inappropriate for me to wear them, obviously I would also like to know that. Okay, now that we're done with the dress and the shorts, it's time to get into our final and most intensive project. I really want to turn this thrifted bed sheet into some breezy summer pants. I thrifted this sheet months ago without any particular plan except that I wanted to use it for clothing. And then once it occurred to me to make some comfy pants with these, I was like, I think that's perfect. And I'm so excited to get started. Let's get into it. I think I'm just going to trace a pair of pants I already have as the pattern. So I'm going to go do that, I guess, and cut them out. Okay, I realized I didn't really explain what I was going for here beyond just pants, but I did have a more specific vision. I wanted to make a wide leg, high-rise, cropped, elastic waist pant with a slight lantern or barrel leg shape. The pants I was tracing here are the closest thing I had to that already in my closet. They're cropped, high-rise, wide leg, but I did also add a bit of that curved barrel shape to the legs as I cut them out, and I also tried to add a bit of extra room in the waist because the pants I was tracing had a zipper, so if I wanted to make these with an elastic waist, I had to make this waist wide enough to fit over my hips before adding the elastic to cinch it. And if you're thinking it looks like I'm playing fast and loose with these dimensions,
It's because I am. Did this cause problems for me later on? I don't know. You'll have to wait and see. Only time will tell. By the way, if you're wondering why I changed out of my little jumpsuit here, it's because I knew I was going to have to try these pants on approximately 500 times throughout this process, and I was simply not going to take off my whole outfit every time. Trying on as I go is what I do for pretty much everything I sew from scratch. It's honestly the only way I'm able to pull off sewing without a pattern. Some might tell me to just use a pattern instead, but if you, like me, are inexplicably unwilling to do that, trying on and adjusting as you go is incredibly helpful.
Hello, everyone. It's the next day, and last night I kind of locked TF in and basically finished these pants. So now all that's left is to give them an actual waistband. I also did make them too small by accident at first. They were just like too fitted. I could barely slide them over my hips, and I really wanted something like super roomy and flowy. So at first I did spiral a little bit about making this whole pair of pants for nothing. But then I realized I could try just adding an extra panel to each leg of the pants to give the whole thing a roomier fit. And that actually worked pretty perfectly. So my mistake did cost a bit of time, but it did not cost me this pair of pants, and I'm gonna count that as a win. Honestly, I don't know if I've ever even made a full sewing project without making a mistake that I then had to troubleshoot. So we're making it work. It's fine. Mistakes are part of the process. Now let's go make a waistband.
Okay, I have a question for you all, but first I need to explain how I got there. Making these pants out of someone else's old bed sheets made me think about the way fabrics and clothing are passed down, passed from person to person, not only through thrifting, but also through hand-me-downs. I have a ton of older cousins and an older sister and a younger sister, so my family was huge on hand-me-downs throughout my childhood, and I've realized I think many of my favorite clothes as a kid were actually hand-me-downs. Sometimes you love a piece more because it once belonged to someone else. So my question for you all is, did you have a favorite hand-me-down in your childhood wardrobe? And if so, what was it? Personally, one that comes to mind for me is a pink t-shirt with a like strawberry seed packet graphic on it that I got from my older sister. I would love to hear yours. Maybe these pants will even become someone else's beloved hand-me-down in the future. Who knows?
Well, our last project is finished. You know what that means. It's time for the final reveal. I'm so excited. Here they are.
Firstly, we have our slightly cropped t-shirts, which were obviously incredibly simple, but I do think it has kind of a transformative effect on the look of the t-shirt overall. I think they look much more tailored to my body and more intentional and styled this way, even with the cutoff hem. To me, this really goes to show how impactful length can be on the overall look of a garment on the body, and we'll see that even more with some of the other projects later. Next, this bodysuit. This was also a very simple adjustment, but it makes this item dramatically more wearable for me. I love how it looks. I can't explain why, but I honestly think the short sleeves also just look better. And more importantly, it feels much more climate appropriate now. So I am so excited to get some wear out of this piece this summer. Now we have the plaid blouse. I am so happy with this one. It turned out basically exactly how it looked when it was pinned, which is exactly what I wanted. I love how sewing in just those small spots lets the gathered fabric above and below the sewing poof out a bit. The volume and shape it creates is just what I was going for and keeps the blouse super comfy and airy and still quite loose overall, while also shaping the top to my torso a bit more. Next, the bag strap. This, of course, was just a repair, so we didn't really do anything new to the bag, but it looks and functions exactly as it did before, which is exactly what I wanted. Long live the horse bag. This dress brings us back to the impact of length. I think it looks so much better on me, just a couple inches shorter. This still feels long enough that I can move around, reach my arms up, etc. without exposing myself, but short enough that it just looks a little more balanced on my body, whereas longer, I feel like it was dragging me down a bit. It looked a bit disproportionate with my height, which is on the shorter side. Next, we have our shorts, which I didn't end up needing to alter at all because look what a difference just rolling the cuffs makes. To me, this has a similar effect to cropping the dress slightly. It just looks a little more proportionate this way. I'm very excited to wear these without really having to do anything to them. Finally, we have our most intensive, most exciting finished product, these striped pants. I am so happy with these. Oh my gosh, considering that they almost completely failed, and I had to sew in these whole big extra panels, which could have totally messed up the shape and the stripe pattern and everything, I am amazed at how accurately these turned out to what I had originally envisioned. We've got the wide leg, cropped length, the slight barrel or lantern leg shape, the high waist, we've got it all. I am also amazed at how seamless these look, how well I managed to line up the stripes for those inserted panels. This is me showing you where the seams are, and you can see that there is some variation in the stripes because of that. They're not totally uniform, but they're lined up so well you can still hardly see the seams, which I think is a huge win. I didn't even talk about this, but I also used French seams for these just to keep everything really neat and sturdy to hold up in the wash, and you can see here how those look on the inside. Super polished, super clean, and ready for so much wear. I literally have so many outfit ideas with these. I could wear them for a month straight. I am so excited.
So, what'd you think? Did I improve upon these pieces? Did I improve upon this bedsheet? I think I did. I'd love to hear your favorite upcycles from this video in the comments, or any DIYs you've been working on lately. And I heard if you do leave a comment, watch another video on my channel, like maybe this one right here, and subscribe, you will never accidentally make a whole pair of pants and then have it turn out to be too small.